morning. This morning we're in Plaka Forest, not too far from the airport. We've come to have a look at the peacocks and have a short walk through the forest. I think I heard a guy back there saying there's around 200 peacocks here. We've also spotted an albino peacock. There's some ducks as well, and some geese and amongst all that, and some cats. There's cats everywhere, but they're going to take a little walk, have a look at this forest.
Today's tour of inland coast starts in the cool shade of Plaka Forest, where the island's unofficial welcoming committee, an army of peacocks, strut about like they own the place. They're usually joined by cats and the odd duck, all of whom clearly believe visitors have arrived purely to feed and admire them. Plaka sits on a high plateau in the centre of the island, shaped by ancient volcanic forces into rocky ridges, now draped in pine and cedar. Under the canopy, the temperature drops a few degrees, and the air is rich with the scent of warm pine to accompany the flat stroll. As the drone rises through the tree tops, you can see how this pocket of green forms a little oasis in the island's interior.
At Antimachia Windmill. You buy some food and then you get a tour of the windmill in with the price. We've got some biscuits, look very nice. Apparently there's all sorts of flavours. One of them's made with yuzu, so that could be interesting. Yep. And some breadsticks. Olive, I think for me, there's a red pepper and cheese one for Nick there. And
some drinks.
Nice cool drinks. From here, we roll on to the Antimachia Windmill, one of the island's last traditional mills still standing strong. Built in the 19th century, it still turns grain into the daily bread of the Dodecanese, powered entirely by the Meltemi winds that never take a day off. The experience starts with breadsticks and biscuits made with the mill's own flour, sitting in the shade with a cold beer enjoying the atmosphere. Heading inside, wooden gears and heavy millstones reveal the ancient engineering that relies on friction, rhythm and a bit of gentle creaking. Nick gets roped into helping turn the sails with hard graft on a hot day, bringing a new meaning to hands-on history.
I think they're going to employ you.
Push, bravo, push.
Hello, we've left the windmill and we're now at Antimachia Castle, which has been abandoned. There was a chap at the front door asking for donations and telling us a little story, but the rest of it we have to go and explore for ourselves. Let's go and have a look.
A couple of miles from the village sits the ruined castle of Antimachia, perched high on the edge of the plateau and giving you a full sweep of Kos's southern coastline from its massive walls. The perimeter of roughly hewn stones is almost 1 kilometre around, peppered with gun ports and drop holes for stones and burning oil. Built by the Knights of St John in the 14th century, this fort once guarded the island from Ottoman invaders and pirates, proof that the medieval world had its own version of tourism. Abandoned in the 19th century, parts of the outer fortifications still stand, most notably the semicircle bastion at the entrance, along with 2 small chapels, one of which you can enter.
Hello and welcome to Palio Pyli. We are on top of a little hill just outside the town of Pyli on Kos, and we're having a look around the old Byzantine castle which was founded by St Christodoulos in the 11th century when these gates were built. Let's have a look. To finish the day we climb up to Palio Pyli, the abandoned mountain village and castle. The short but steep climb starts on narrow paths in the shade of the trees, very welcome in the heat of the day. The geology up here is all exposed volcanic rock and fractured slopes, Kos's ancient tectonic history written into every boulder. The settlement dates back to Byzantine times, altered and extended through the centuries, most notably following the earthquake of 1493. With the fortress of the castle standing high on the cliffs as a lookout keeping an eye on invaders, the old village is tucked safely into the mountainside below.